Greetings, friends. Welcome to the Grit and Equity Talks podcast. Welcome to this fabulous podcast on this wonderful day, Juneteenth. I'm your host, Dr. India White. I'm thrilled to be here among you. Happy Thursday, happy Juneteenth to all of you, in particular, to all of us in the African American race, Black race that have been striving every day to just be excellent and to exude peace everywhere we go, and to exude just record-breaking strength, record-breaking deeds. With that said, I do want to go into some announcements. The first things first, the Grit and Equity Talks podcast with Dr. India White will be featured on the X Factor EDU network, hosted by Dr. Matthew Joseph. And you can also find this on Spotify. In addition to that, you can also find it on all of my main social media channels. You've got Facebook is Miss India White, LinkedIn is The India White, Twitter is Indy Speak and Teach, Instagram is Indy238, YouTube is India White 123, and TikTok is Dr. India White. Please check out the website for books, blogs, or if you're needing to schedule me for a speaking or coaching event for your school district, I'd be honored to come out and to help you guys fulfill, helping others be motivated, overcoming burnout, cultivating grit, whatever it is that you're liking. Speaking of events, I'm excited about these upcoming events. Before I even talk about these events, I want to say, shout out to everyone in the NCTM, NCSM, NCTE board and committees that gave me the honor to come among you fabulous folks to speak and to mingle in Chicago this past week. I had a wonderful time. My mom's from Chicago, so it was kind of cool making that connection. But not only that, I really got a chance to just enjoy the wealth of the city and to see the realness of the city, from eating at wonderful, nice Italian restaurants. It was beautiful, wonderful food. I definitely had a deep dish pizza. That was cool. But then also taking the train, which personally, I think there should be so many renovations done there. I don't know what's going on there. It's not my place, but at the same time, it was real. And it was something that I could appreciate and I could not ignore. And my heart just went out for the people there, that hopefully they could have some renovations there and they could, just polish it up and renew some things. And I know it's a big city and I know everybody commutes, so I can see why it's tough, but still, I had a great time. It was nice. And I enjoyed the sessions. I enjoyed the people, the rock stars that were there, the math celebs that were among me, that were just shining bright doing their thing. We had a blast. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for those that allowed me to be in the room. I do want to talk about some other upcoming events. I know we've got, actually have another event coming up this weekend for Nevada educators. It'll be virtual with Adam Lane and the team. Thank you so much, Adam, for allowing me to be a part of that. Dr. Dre Graham has also been a part of it in times past and is a part of it too, and some other rock stars. So I'm excited about that this weekend. We also have camps coming up, and we also have some LA training. I'm excited to also be there, at the beginning of the school year for LA, and then NCSM and NCTM going to those two conferences along with the Making Math Moments conference. Thank you to everyone from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be a part of these wonderful events. I'm excited and I can't wait to join so many people. For those that attended my sessions at FCTM and NCTM and CTE joint conferences, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And yes, I had a blast at FCTM as well in Florida. We had a great time. Always great time connecting with friends and those that are in the trenches with you. For those that connected and you're wanting books, workbooks, all that stuff, presentations, whatever, I will get to you. Thank you for your patience. So I just wanted to let all you guys know I appreciate you. I see you, and I am going to definitely get to you. So with that said, I also wanted to remind you guys, I do have the Grit Mini Workshop for those that are checking it out. Thanks for those that have been registering and getting it lately. And thanks for your feedback from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Check it out on the Grassroots Workshops website. I think you'd enjoy that. There's also the G.R.I.T Academy where I'm tutoring students. Super excited to tutor them in SAT, ACT, grades K-12. Also for a different math curriculum, if students have, maybe math over the summer, maybe they need a tutor, maybe they're trying to, skip a grade or whatnot, or maybe they're just trying to catch up, then I would love to help you guys. Now, if you're trying to close the achievement gap, maybe you're having classroom management issues or students just aren't motivated to do work, then this is the podcast for you. Sometimes we do have special episodes, like today's one episode, because we're going to kind of shift off and talk about, some other stuff. But, with that said, this is a podcast for teachers, principals, and beyond. And so with that said, I do want to now talk about having a gritty Juneteenth. And so yay to Juneteenth. I am very happy about this holiday because for so long, it's like I've had to have cultural assimilation, and I've had to, be the good girl so that I could be at the table and fit in. And I could not really be proud of my race. I could not be, from little things. It could be my skin tone. It could be my hair, which, my hair is naturally an afro. This is what we call a protective style because I'm trying to, just make sure my hair can grow and be healthy and not be damaged by all the curls and all the sun and everything else. So long story short, I'm just proud to be an African-American, even though I know that the history of what we have gone through in this nation has been a little bit sticky. However, I do want to say I'm very proud of methods and efforts we've taken to move forward as a people, despite what is going on. We still stick together. We support each other. We love one another. And that's how it should be. I think sometimes in the Black space and beyond, sometimes in particular in the Black space, sometimes we don't know if we can celebrate each other or we can stick together because there's so much trauma. There's so much hurt. And so I think that's unfortunate, but it's been like a strategy that has worked against the African-American Black race for quite some time, where some Black people are strategic about doing things alone or not including all members of their race because there's so much trauma and fear of, am I going to be replaced or am I going to lose what I have? Is this person going to outshine, my efforts and things like that? So I want to encourage everybody in the African-American community to please disregard any kind of thoughts like that and to do what you can to join other forces. I would say, too, for the African-American Blacks, this is our season to have our own, to own our own, to create our own, so that you can have things in your hands that cannot be taken from you and things that cannot be deemed as unfit or discarded or dejected, as I talked about in a presentation this past week. I think African Americans are used to a system of dejection where, basically you have inclusion, acceptance, everybody's good. Dejection is a forceful rejection, removal, because maybe your skin, or maybe you're too loud, or your features are just not, they don't fit the cookie cutter, which I don't understand why people don't get today that you're not going to have a cookie cutter. And matter of fact, I was speaking to some teachers of European descent this week, and they were telling me how if they see something that's cookie cutter, they usually don't want that, because they know there's an issue. There's an underlying issue, especially seeing that the statistics of our nation today says that you have in education, about 85% of teachers are European descent, but then you have about 70+% of our students are not cookie cutter. Like, they all look different. They come from different backgrounds. They're different. And so how are you going to meet their needs and teach them if everybody you bring doesn't have their struggle, doesn't speak to what they've been through, doesn't know their culture group, doesn't know their ethnicity? It's going to be tougher to reach those children, and it's going to leave you frustrated, right? So with that said, we're celebrating Juneteenth, and I want to talk a little bit about how can we celebrate Juneteenth together, some ways that you can celebrate Juneteenth in general is to be respectful to Black/African Americans. Whenever you're passing them, you see them, just wave, nod, be nice. You don't have to say Happy Liberation Day or nothing like that. It really doesn't take all that. Just a nice respect is nice. A nod is nice. Calling someone Black African American, let them know that you appreciate them. If you don't appreciate them, don't call them. Oh. Yeah, we want genuine appreciation. And then also choosing peace, choosing promotions, choosing rightful payouts, choosing opportunities. Let their voices be heard. I mean, what is it going to hurt to have someone diverse at your table if you don't have someone diverse? It really is kind of weird. I think it is. If you have no representation of African American / Blacks in your circle, that's really weird. I don't know how you work so hard to manage that. I don't know. I don't know how that's working. I think there's a lot of fear there, and it doesn't make any sense, because I think people, they fear the unknown, and in order for you to overcome the fear, you've got to open those doors and be willing to take a risk, be willing to try and get rid of any mental, qualms and fears, anxieties, biases, whatever, and give people a chance. I would say also, when you're choosing peace, sometimes a lot of many issues that Black/African Americans go through, it's not it's not them initiating it. Sometimes they just showed up, and people of other races in this sense are trying to figure out how to make their life miserable because they're different. Because in their mind, they think that the Black person, is less than them. This is not everybody. This is certain people, certain things, and as a result of that, like them processing and thinking that they're better, then they do what they can to torment that Black person, whether it's financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. I mean, I don't care what environment. This could be in any environment. And unfortunately, Blacks have to take a lot of this on. So shout out to all Black/African Americans, especially those that have migrated over, and they're unfortunately getting the brunt of what African Americans have to go through. The Blacks, whose ancestors built this country, they're getting the brunt of this. They don't have a clue of what's going on, but unfortunately they look the part. So shout out to you guys as well for having to endure so much. But with that said, I hope that we can all choose peace and have a resolve in your heart of, if there is any hatred, if there's any unexplained attitudes, biases, or just thoughts of thoughts that would challenge your moral compass to be lower than it should, that we would have moments where we could resolve and work through those. You don't have to tweet it out. You don't have to tell everybody, but really do a heart search, and see how can I be a better person towards everyone. Since we're talking about Juneteenth, I mean, today towards Blacks. So with that said, we're going to talk about having a great Juneteenth, being able to be productive during this Juneteenth, during this week. And so I found some really cool things that I wanted to share with you guys that I thought was pretty cool that we could talk about together. So I found this video. This is Fox. I'm not going to take up too much of their time.
But today is Juneteenth, and it's a time for community. It's a time for celebration that can be honored in any language. And I'm so happy to have the co-authors of a children's book highlighting the importance of freedom, unity, and culture within a multicultural community here with me. I have Valerie Boutron and Dr. Rita Guzman. We are inspired to have you here with us today because you've done so much already.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having us. We're excited to be here and celebrate Juneteenth Unidos with you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And I was telling them I love these colors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're humbled
like
to be
we
here.
knew. Yeah. So you got your story from a true story. The children's book comes from a true story from Chicago's far south suburbs. Crete, is that right?
That's right, the village of Crete. So my family actually moved to Crete just a few years ago. And when we moved there, one of the first things I did was I joined the local historical society, the Crete Historical Society. I learned then about Crete's special connection to the Underground Railroad and the fact that there are 2 sites there that are actually a part of the Underground Railroad. So when I learned,
I think that's pretty neat. I'm just trying to be careful with respecting, copyright and things like that. But that's a rock star there. She's created these books, bilingual books, and they talk about the history of the Underground Railroad in Chicago. It really did exist. And, it's pretty powerful that she's doing that and kind of, paying that honor to ancestors and to the strength of and resilience of Black people all over the nation. So let's keep listening for a little bit longer.
Juneteenth celebration, but there wasn't. So I decided to partner the first year in 2023 with the Historical Society, and we put on something little. It was grassroots, but it was beautiful. And then the following year in 2024, I was able to get some more partnership with the local school district, and we had a big Juneteenth at the U. There was a wonderful moment. I'll never forget it, and it was what inspired Rita and I to write this book together, when there was a little girl who was dancing in the sunshine with her grandmother, and it was like all of the effort and work that had gone into having this celebration made it so worthwhile. We wanted to capture that in a story of showing how a community can learn together how to celebrate Juneteenth, because it's a new holiday, frankly, for a lot of people. Not everyone, but there's a lot of
federal holiday, which means, a lot of people are learning more now.
And learning how to celebrate it in a way where it's embracing all of America and embracing all families and languages.
So.
All right. So that's great. So they are celebrating with the community. So they have the community coming together. Like she said, they were in a park or a field, whatever, and they had children dance with grandmothers and things like that. I think it's beautiful, connecting various, lineages together. So that was pretty cool. And I took away from that some ways that we could celebrate. Now I want to go and talk about, and that was Fox Chicago. So. All right, so now I want to talk about teaching Juneteenth and the meaning of freedom. This is from the NEA. So let's look at this together. So we're looking at this together. This is teaching Juneteenth and the meaning of freedom. All right, so it says, on June 19th, 1865, over 250 enslaved Black people in Texas were informed that the Civil War was months earlier. 1 month earlier, and they were finally free. Look at that. So it looks like they were still doing free labor. So that's wrong, right? So it says 250,000 of them, they were already free, but I guess they got the news late. And so then it says, so since then, that means on June 19th in 1865, that was Juneteenth Independence Day. So that is the real Independence Day for the Black African American. Again, Juneteenth is the real Independence Day for Blacks. This is when we were finally free. Our ancestors were free from the foolishness of slavery. So this is why, if you look at many Blacks, African Americans that know the history, even though we respect July 4th, that was 1776, which means that was not the Independence Day for Blacks, if that makes sense. Blacks were still enslaved. So there's like 2 Independence Days really going on in this nation. And some people are like, oh, what is it a big deal? Why celebrate Juneteenth? Blah, 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 blah. Well, I mean, yeah, we can do our fireworks on July 4th. I do mine. I love it. But at the same time, if you have to really acknowledge the truth that foundational truth piece does say that blacks weren't liberated until 1865. Okay, so almost a little bit shy of 100 years, right? Um, so with that said, let's go back to this presentation and let's keep reading about how we can understand Juneteenth and the meaning of freedom for blacks. So it says this is the Freedom Day. You know, and it's so funny. I know there has to be a God that looks down on all this and sees what the black community has gone through and continues to go through. And I know that if there be a God, if there be an Almighty, that He's going to deal with it. He's going to help to help blacks really understand that they are valuable no matter what they've been through, and that He's got their back. You know, He's going to help them. But anyway, so this is Freedom Day, and this became a federal holiday. So it happened in 1865. We didn't have it as a federal holiday until 2021. All right. So, and then it talks about the background reading information. So it says Juneteenth, how and why it should be taught in K-12 schools. Sonia Douglas is a professor of educational leadership at Teachers College in Columbia University. Okay. She spoke on why educators should teach about it. Okay. And then there's some other articles here teaching Juneteenth. So for all you teachers out there, there's a lot there that talks about Juneteenth. They even have some videos and whatnot of, you know, just different things here. I think that's pretty neat. Let's see if we can check out another video. So Juneteenth explained. Let's check this one out. It looks like it's for kids, but let's see. Gee, gee. Woo! Wow. Wow. Um, wow. That to me, there's so much morally wrong with how that went down. I'm sorry. It hurts my gut to think that they really were liberated in 1863, but weren't known that they were free. So that means that the people that owned them kept free labor for another 2 years. Ouch. And then I know, like, Kendrick Lamar mentioned something about 40 acres and a mule that was promised to many enslaved persons, and they didn't get that either. So I think that Juneteenth being celebrated kind of helps bring a direction for healing and restoration. Because I don't know, like, you know, it's just looking at the facts of what took place. It's just painful to even read or listen about it, because it's like, I can't believe the moral compass was the way it was. It's wild. It is wild to me, and I can't process how I would be able to sleep at night putting myself in someone else's shoes, you know, doing what was done. I don't know that I could even live with myself or sleep at night. But hey, we're here today. We move forward, right? We celebrate our unity that we have today. Let's keep listening.
Texas became the first state to proclaim Emancipation Day as an official state holiday. Today, nearly all 50 states mark Juneteenth as either a date of observance or a state holiday. Over the years, Juneteenth has been celebrated by Black Americans all over the country in many different ways. On many occasions, an assortment of red foods and drinks are prepared to symbolize perseverance, but celebrations can range from small family gatherings and backyard barbecues to grand festivals and parades featuring exhibitions of African American music, literature, dance, and more. More can be done to further support Juneteenth, such as local and state governments formally recognizing the history and culture of the day, and companies and local businesses incorporating it into their calendars even before.
I love it. I love it. And thank you to those that do celebrate Juneteenth and do have it as a holiday in their organization. I think that's fabulous. But wow, the history there, I'm just going to let that be because it's different. But we're thankful, right, that we're at least moving this direction as a people, as a nation. So let's look and see what else we have here that speaks to how we can, celebrate Juneteenth and things like that. I found something earlier that I wanted to share. So this is pretty cool. This lady says, Juneteenth is recognized as a national holiday because of the relentless work of this woman, Mother Opal Lee. We must honor her today and uplift her legacy moving forward. So this chick is the reason why we were able to really celebrate Juneteenth. God bless her for pushing for that and not giving up and remaining resilient. Dr. Opal Lee. Check her out whenever you guys get a chance. And I think that, this is beautiful just to be able to see that we are able to move forward. It's been quite some time, but, thank you to all of those that do partner with African-Americans / Blacks that do. A shout out to NCTM that made all of their featured speakers and keynotes this year of African-American / Black descent. That was beautiful. And that was seen and that's appreciated. So this has been a wonderful, wonderful time, just kind of looking over everything. And like I said, it's just one of those things that, you just kind of ponder on your own time. It's nobody's business of how you feel. It's nobody's business of whatever. But if you're really wanting to partner with Blacks, buy their stuff, partner with them, put them on your podcasts, give them opportunities. Also don't abuse one against the other. That's not helping, right? You can support all of them because we see that too. We see that too, right? So just whatever you do, just show your love, show your support, and just be nice and be peaceful. I think if anything, the one thing Blacks want more than anything is peace and opportunities. One of my late mentors, male mentors, he told me, he said, I'm just in a place in my life where I just want to be left alone. I just want to live life and not go through the mess. Like just have peace of mind, peace in conversations, peace in transactions, So with that said, I hope that this kind of shines a light on what we are able to do together nationally. And I'm so thankful, like I said, to those that are not of African-American race and you love us and you support us. For those that have helped me, thank you to all of you from the bottom of my heart. You're beautiful people. And I pray that you continue to tap in to that awesome side of your moral compass where you work with Blacks and African-Americans. You keep your word, you do right by them, because I'm telling you, that's what's going to help you sleep at night. And I believe that, God Almighty does take great notes and he sees and he hears all, and he will bless those that have gone out of their way to bless the African American / Black race. So with that said, guys, thanks so much for joining me today on this special episode of the Grit and Equity Talks podcast with yours truly, Dr. India White. Again, you can watch me and watch my other episodes on my social media handles. You've got, Facebook all the way to Blue Sky and all these other things. You can also check out the website, www.india-white for books, blogs, and whatnot. And yes, I will see you guys at some upcoming events. I'm super excited about that. Make sure that you, no matter what you do, continue to have great resilience and time. And until next time, stay gritty. See ya.